Hey guys, and welcome back. I am Magus, and I am joined with an old friend of mine.
Yep,
it's been a while, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm taking a break from docking Rage Quitters points to do some commentary here at Final Round. It's great to be back in my hometown.
I know your roots, man.
My roots, yeah.
Right? Commentary too.
Yeah, try to help out a little bit. You know, all you guys working really hard behind the scenes and here on commentary. And Street Fighter V is a game I actually kind of know. With Ultra Street Fighter 4, there's just so many characters and matchups. It was. I don't want to embarrass myself too much by.
You didn't do too bad at that hacker fight either, huh?
Oh, playing?
Yeah.
Got a little Laura.
You still got it.
Yeah,
you still got it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so actually, guys, we have a new kind of feature we're going to be rolling out and trying. This is pretty new, so if it's terrible, don't blame me.
Yeah, it's a little early, I think, everywhere, too, so be patient with us. We're still kind of waking up, too.
So basically what we want to do in this kind of gap that we're just changing over from pools and players and all that stuff is we kind of want to talk about some of the interesting things we may have seen in matches or something we may want to explain in a match. So we kind of have a replay system. And we're going to kind of roll out a package right now, which is something you want to talk about because you brought it up first. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I've seen over the years. It's basically a concept that I think a lot of advanced players do, but not a lot of beginner players do, not even some intermediate players do. But it's when you dash under when the opponent is jumping.
Right.
And, a lot of times you could go for like a standard anti-air, but in this case we have Bonchan against an Akali player. He dashes under the jump and hits him with a 3-hit combo. Now maybe you can expand on this. I have my own theories why he would do that instead of just uppercutting. My thoughts are he wanted to get better positioning, right? And he wanted to get himself away from the corner and put the Akali player in the corner.
I think yes, exactly. I also think in this game, this kind of leads to a bigger point in the fact that dashes are extremely sped up. And to get a little more technical, you look at kind of older games, and dashes may have been in like the 20+ frame range. Now they've kind of been shortened anywhere from 15 to like the early 20s, which is huge because that means they're a lot more responsive and you can be tricky with them.
Yep.
I think a reason he would probably dash there instead of doing uppercut is he may have already been thinking about dashing. Akali hit the air and he was like, I'm just going to follow through with it.
Yep.
And like you said, it could have been a positional thing. He felt he was getting pressured. He didn't want to deal with it, and he just wanted to kind of reverse the situation right there. So a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, it kind of leads to a bigger thing in this game where dashing is now an extremely important tool of mobility, but also used for a mix-up in the neutral game. So I think that's kind of what we're going to be seeing a lot develop through players, especially grappler players. They're going to be using their dashes a lot to get in, as opposed to older Street Fighter games. You may just see a lot of walking and pacing and using special attacks to kind of muscle your way in there. Now you could actually be sneaky with that dash.
Yeah, the pacing of the dashes in this game I feel are kind of similar to Third Strike, and I don't know all the frame data across the board.
It's similar, so
but that was one of the first things I noticed when I started playing the game is you just get in really quick and get in, do your mix-ups, take throws, things like that. So, keep an eye out for it. Bonchan is a really experienced player. And so that's the strategy that he employed there.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot more of that. And then to expand on dashing, you're talking a little later in that clip, he dashed up and got hit with a
stand jab, right? And that kind of leads me to kind of our next set of. I think if we're going to run it back, kind of the replays right there, so we could show you something else, which is kind of. People get really used to dashing in this game, and you may get a little too comfortable. You can see right here, now he does get a little greedy is what cost him right there, but he dashes after the DP, goes for a forward fierce, and gets stand jabbed, or crouch jab, sorry, out of that setup. So he got a little greedy, and then here we go again. This one's a little more to my point. Okay, so right there, we saw Chun-Li on Birdie go for a forward throw. She is even after this throw, so technically she should win if she crouch jabs after this. Boom, but Birdie nails her. So the moral of this is most characters, actually probably 90% of them, actually do not get a dash after the throw. Chun-Li is the one exception. She has, she's +0, which means she's completely neutral after a dash. So her 3-frame, being the fastest attacks in the game, is going to trade or win versus everybody.
Yeah, and I think for newer players and even intermediate players, it's also when you hit it air-to-air, right?
Right.
And you land, you feel like you have the advantage, and so you dash in, right?
Right.
And you start hitting buttons, but then you get counter hit or whatever. So you just got to be really mindful in those situations, air-to-airs, after a throw.
Yep.
You land the hit, you land the throw, and so you're super hungry. You want to get in there and keep doing damage, but at that point it's more or less their turn.
And I think that's what you have to notice about it in this game as well. there's going to be a lot of situations where you feel like you get a dash or you get a specific setup, but really, especially after throws, it's kind of more neutral in this game. You do get meaties, you do get to set something up, but it's not going to be this huge, let me, set up a Street Fighter 4-esque mix-up and stuff like that. So, just be mindful of how you use dashes. They're very powerful when used correctly, but do not run into things because that'll get you killed. But so we're going to go ahead and promote kind of the next event that's going to be happening on this tour. Hans, you want to talk about NorCal Regionals? That's an old school one.
Yeah, NorCal Regionals. Honestly, this is where we got our start. I think this was like NorCal Regionals back in 2009 was pretty much one of the first, one of the very first like FGC Street Fighter streams. I know there's a few before that, but generally I feel like the NCR is kind of what kicked things off. And obviously we've come a really long way. Next weekend, NorCal Regionals 2016, and it's obviously one of my favorite tournaments. I live in NorCal now, so I'm a little biased, but they, a ton of great players always come out. NorCal obviously has like a really strong scene with a lot of great players, so it's gonna be awesome tournament. I don't know if they're gonna get over 1,000 players like they got for
that's a lot
for final round
for a NorCal hotel. I don't think they could meet that capacity, but that would be pretty wild. And, I think, in my opinion, the greatest American Street Fighter player of all time is helping running that, as usual, John Choi. That's right. So he's going to be there. He actually said after NorCal Regionals, he's going to pick the game up. So
really?
Imagine him playing Ryu in this game. I don't even want to think about that.
Super scary. Yeah, so check it out. It's going to be on Capcom Fighters, our next premiere event here on the tour. So it's going to be awesome. Tons of great moments even from last year. I remember Bonchan versus BJ Unchained was one of the most hype matches I think of the year. So don't miss it. It's always a lot of fun. So
yeah, BJ is insane. He's really good at this game too. So hopefully we'll see more of him. So next match we got lined up for you guys is going to be Empal versus Cypher Flame.
Yeah.
All right, so this should be interesting. I saw these guys waiting around to play, so finally, here we go. It looks like a Nikali mirror. This should be interesting. A lot of Nikalis in the East Coast, I've noticed. Way less or way more than what I see in the West Coast. Being over in NorCal and SoCal, we don't really have a lot of Nikalis, so it's kind of interesting to see, the abundance of them over here. Yeah, it'll be an interesting mirror.
Yeah. Cool.
Both starting out kind of, all right, there we go, using that V skill. Very powerful move in the neutral game. Raw stomp right there. And yeah, both of them be fishing. I mean, Nikali's big ground button, standing roundhouse, crouching medium kick. Those are going to be his money makers. And kind of further away, he's going to be using V skill to get his V trigger sooner. Oh, that's big punish right there. Yep, you get a fierce punish on that if they ever do one of those raw on you. So make him pay for it. All right, here we go, back to neutral.
Yeah, I'm typically not a huge fan of watching mirror matches, but since the game is so new, I actually really like watching how players approach a matchup, against the same character. It's always interesting, because a lot of times, you're playing online or whatever, and you're just running into the rest of the cast, so it can take some time to learn the mirror match.
They both just activate. Here we go. All right, so it looks like Empal's got a pretty good lead on this, right? If he didn't make any mistakes, he's fine. I agree. I think mirror matches, most people try to avoid them. It's just, it's just weird because you have the same tool set. And you know how you play, but you don't know how other Nikalis play, so it just adds this weird layer of mind games that you don't really want to deal with.
And right now, everybody's trying to figure out who's the best, right?
I know, right?
Like everybody's trying to be the best Kin, the best Nikali.
That's never a good look when you lose to your own character, You're just like, oh, man. All right, V reversal. It's pretty rare for Nikalis to use V reversal. They like to usually sit on it for his V trigger. Now he's just getting mauled in that corner. Empal in complete control right now. Boom. Just pressure.
Yeah, he's got all the setups that he needs, doing a ton of damage. That was pretty convincing. Yeah, he's like, I'm the best.
And you can see, once Nikali has you, once he has you pinned down, his stand low kick is going to be where kind of all the mind games start. He's going to stand low kick, either command grab, stand low kick, stand medium kick. That whole kind of mix-up tree that leads off an advantageous normal that is quick like that is kind of what you're aiming for once you knock somebody down. Ooh, 2 crouch medium punches right there. Block, no punish. All right, Empal getting away with some stuff. Both just trying to find a good spot to fight.
Getting a lot of mileage out of that crouch medium punch.
Yeah, that poke is really good. It has like a lingering hitbox too. It hits pretty far, a lot further than you'd expect. Same with his stand jab. I've noticed those two pokes are kind of like, they have that like phantom hitbox to them where you just don't think you'll get hit by it and they still hit you. Ooh, landed the standing medium kick right there. EX stomps, gets pressure, goes in for a greedy dash though.
Yeah, Cypher Flame tried to like hold his ground a little better this round, but you know, EMP Rao, he's just done a great job of pushing him to the corner the entire time. Cross up.
Both in V-trigger. Ooh. EX dead. Wow, the damage on that. And of course, when he's in V-trigger mode, he's get larger hitboxes, he's quicker, he probably does more damage, he walks faster, so he really becomes one of the best characters in the game once he does activate that.
Yeah, both these guys, they're wasting no time going into V-trigger. It's pretty much as soon as they get it, they just activate.
Yeah, they're not even fishing for normals. They're like, I just want to get into God mode and hit him with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot in this tournament. Actually, people just activating V-triggers raw. Like they're not even they're not even trying to set it up with something, which I think might be smart, especially for characters with two bars to get it, because you might get it another time in the round.
Yeah, Cypher Flame he's having a hard time really getting anything going. He just keeps getting pushed to the corner.
Yeah, Empal is just winning in the neutral. His spacing's a little better. Yeah. Here we go. Now he's got oh wow, super. It was a little early to do super, but
he needs something.
Yeah,
at this point.
He might as well at this point. You're right. He just doesn't have the help.
There you go.
Crush counter doesn't follow it up. Not close enough to get a combo. It looked like.
It's a little early. Maybe some nerves. You know.
Oh, definitely nerves.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about earlier, well, good job to Empal there with the win. But as we were talking about earlier, I think a lot of players just aren't confident yet. You know, like they just haven't played the game long enough versus enough people to be like, okay, I know exactly what to do in this matchup. Like, nobody really knows.
Yeah, well, I was talking to Gutex about this. I was talking to Gutex about this just yesterday. It's I think players approach this game, they found that a lot of the combos are a little easier with the entire cast compared to Street Fighter 4, right? So they think, okay, I can play like 3-4 different characters because the combos are easy or whatever. But that's definitely not the hard part. The hard part is remembering punishes and all the different setups, right? So I think, outside of maybe infiltration and a handful of players, I think we're going to see more character specialists kind of rise to the top, and people just kind of stick with their characters because they have to remember, all these different punishes versus the entire cast. And as more characters get added, over time, I think people are going to stop like jumping around and playing different characters.
Yeah, I think, and especially the first year, the first Pro Tour, it's very dangerous to play multiple characters. You really want to flesh out one that you really like and you're working on it. And in this game, luckily, you could pick any character you want and be pretty safe in the sense that no matchup is going to completely, destroy you. I think there's some rare cases, maybe with some of the grapplers, that you might want to have like a secondary. But for the most part, you could pick any character and win any match right now.
Yeah, I think
it's important to learn.
Zangief versus Dulcim, I think.
Yeah, Zangief versus Sim, I feel. Zangief versus Chun. And, he has some lopsided matches, but he also gets rewarded pretty crazy for like one hit. So, like, you're never out of it. Like, on paper, he could have like an 8-2, and I don't care what that means. Because if you eat one of those haymakers, like, that's good night.
Well, this game is so momentum-based, right? Yeah. Again, a lot like Third Strike, I feel. It's, less, I think, defensive options outside of, V reversals. Right. It only takes one hit no matter how bad the matchup is. But in any event, we have LPN versus JDR 512. LPN, I think everybody who's watching is probably pretty familiar with him at this point.
Very dominant in NorCal.
Yep. And he's been doing pretty well for himself. So
at least at the local scene, he's been doing pretty good. He did lose a Wizard World to Justin Wong and Ricky Ortiz. So
nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. So he is human.
Yep.
JDR getting smacked right there. Mika's this is actually a pretty good match for Mika. Birdie does not have any reversals, so she can get in there. But LPN doing a good job of covering his feet right there with that banana. Here we go, in the wheelhouse. Oh, LPN not reacting to those drop kicks. Gets the wake-up pressure. Nope. LPN hitting buttons on wake-up. And he's not reacting at all to those drop kicks. That's a sign to me. If you're a Mika player, that's a sign. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because that move is just, it's too good.
So is it unsafe? Tell me about the drop kick. Or what should he be doing?
You could jab it, you could fierce it, you could do whatever you want on reaction, but you have to be ready for it, and you have to be looking for it. So, but it is plus on block, so it's one of her few moves that is plus and gives her an advantage. The fact that she flies across the screen and goes over lows as well is just crazy. So if an opponent isn't reacting to a move like that, you have to take advantage of it because it's just too good not to.
Goes over soda cans too.
Yeah, which I bet she just can't pick that up. You know?
Yeah, throw it back out.
Throw the damn thing at him. Yeah.
Wow, that was a ton of damage.
That does a lot of damage. Yeah, his command grabs in V-Trigger do an insane amount of damage. I thought something was wrong. Like, I thought there was a handicap issue once, like the first time I got hit by that. And I was like, wait a minute. Ooh, great. See, there we go. Now we're starting to react properly. Kind of woke up now. All right, meaty EX dive. And that move is an unblockable throw. Stun,
wow,
yep.
Stun.
LPM woke up.
Perfect, yeah. Just that first round, he's filling them out. You know, he didn't really overextend himself. You know, he was in the corner most of the time and just trying to deal with the pressure. But I think he was just trying to get a better, get a sense of what JDR's game plan was. So.
Yeah, and I think once you kind of rely on an unsafe move to get in, once you kind of figure that out, it's gonna make you think now. How am I gonna approach this match? But LPM basically was like, okay, now if you're gonna do that drop kick, I'm gonna punish you huge for it.
Yeah. Something.
Having a communication issue right here. Thinking he wants to change characters. Yeah, it looks like he's changing characters. But yeah, LPN also plays. I mean, he plays an assortment of characters. He's in SF4. He was the same way. He played basically half the cast. A lot of people criticized him for that because they said he never really sat down and specialized. He's kind of doing that again in this game, but
yeah, and I think him and Infiltration, like I said, there's a handful of players who are like that, who are just really talented. They don't really get their wires crossed when they're playing various different characters, and they use it to their advantage for sure. So JDR 5-1-12, switching over to Bison. Bison is a character that LPN knows very well. So
yeah, he does. This is gonna be rough for JDR. Yeah. I also feel like Birdie fights this maybe a little better than he fights Mika, but we'll see.
Yeah, you go toe-to-toe with him with normals and things like that. Doesn't have to worry about like crazy grab mix-ups and stuff. Nice crush counter. Yeah,
his Bison's looking solid right now, putting a lot of pressure on LPN. Yep. Goes for the tick, and JDR falls for it.
Those gimmicks.
Those are all, they're basically gimmicks. I mean, let's call them what they are. They are setups, but they're essentially, in the long run, they're going to be considered gimmicks.
Yep. Wow, nice.
Yeah, good turnaround right there. Bison just huge pressure, and especially when he's in that V-trigger mode, and he just becomes, a teleport machine.
Yeah, really dangerous.
Loses charge, everything. Yeah, his moves change. There's that knee.
That knee is really, really good.
Crush counter normal. Keeps an advantage on it. Boom, again, he's just going to it. And you can see right there what he's thinking. He's going to walk forward a little, try to get that throw out of you, and then stick a knee in your face again.
He knows Birdie's going to be hitting buttons, too,
Oh, man. LPN's just throwing everything out right now.
Yeah, get as much mileage out of those grabs as you can, like early on, because, a year from now, I don't think they're going to be as effective. But
no, they definitely won't. I also think as a round progresses, they lose effectiveness as well. So, and that did a ton of damage because of the gray health that he racked up on that V reversal. Ooh. Now he's got V-trigger. Let's see how he uses it. Really close to death. Both of them actually have V-trigger, sorry. So now Bison, he can look for a random slide and activator. Okay, just jumps in and gets nailed. Birdie having one of the best normal anti-airs in the game.
Yeah.
Crouching medium punch. Just do it. Wow. Just comes out and does EX. Not showing a lot of respect to this guy. Boom, big damage. Overhead. Command grab.
Yeah, he's done playing games right now.
Yep. He's going to try and set up that stun. Just taking away, dashes in. There we go. Again, you can just see the power of dash. Whoa. A little mess up right there. Or maybe going for a reset.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. Ooh, nice.
Yep, let's see what his V-trigger Bison has. This is like a Marvel character when he's in V-trigger.
Low on meter.
One more hit's going to do it. Meets him in the air with the EX stomp. He's got to make this next hit count. And LPN's got a lot of resources to be tricky. He can cancel a bullhorn.
Again.
There we go.
Wow, yeah, he got a lot of those.
Yeah, he got a lot of mileage out of that move, which, if you neutral jump that, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, typically when I play birdies, I do a lot of neutral jumping, right? And just to see if they go for it, you're obviously going to get a lot of damage. It kind of shuts down that option, too, if you are, doing a lot of neutral jumping, at that range.
Neutral jump in general is very strong in this game.
Yeah, it really is. I know it's like really great versus Cammy. It's not, I would say like full screen, but almost full screen. Especially if you're a Shoto, throwing fireballs and stuff, you want to look out for a V skill and punish that. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I know it's also good just for characters like Mika and stuff who are looking for dash-ins and kind of quirky moves to get in there. It's just good in general because in this game, all kinds of stuff. You're not really ready for offense and stuff. Neutral jump is always going to be good because you're not putting a lot of risk out there, but you can get a big reward on certain things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's existed in Street Fighter games forever, even in CVS too. People would say if you can't deal with roll cancels very well, just neutral jump them.
All right, so
things.
Now I think we're going to learn something here. We have Chris G versus Haani.
Oh, that's right. I was showing you that tweet where he was pretty excited about winning this. Chris G, Cammy player, Laura player, Nash. He plays all three pretty well.
Yeah. So when I think one of the most interesting things about Street Fighter V right now is seeing how players, what characters players are choosing. Who came from Street Fighter 4, previous games, just to see, who they're. Who they feel comfortable with, right? And we've seen a lot of these guys jump around. I think, if I recall, Chris G was playing a little bit of Laura, right? And
kind of moved to Nash, then Cammy. He's moved around.
Yeah, a lot of these players jumping around, kind of seeing what suits their style and just their mentality at tournaments and things like that. So, who does Haani play? Do you know?
Well, I mean, in Third Strike, Haani was an old school Makoto player. I'm sure you know that. You were a Makoto player yourself. In this game, he does play Nakali, and he's supposedly one of the best Nakalis, so it should be interesting.
That is interesting. I actually thought he would play Laura. I think Laura has a really similar game plan as Makoto, but Nakali does have a command grab. You know what I mean?
Have a command grab,
he has some great normals, does a ton of damage. So
and he's got a crazy dash, so he's already used to that kind of mindset. That dash in, hit buttons, put pressure on him. Cammy's going to be. Chris G is actually playing Cammy, so don't worry about the slides right there. But you guys get the idea. This is going to be an interesting match. Cammy is in high regard in Japan. They think she's a great character. I mean, everybody does, but they put her very high up there in their own rankings. So
I feel like she's gone a little under the radar, though. A lot of people talk about how strong Chun-Li is, and I feel like Cammy doesn't come up in these conversations as much, but she's super solid.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of people slept on her. Ooh, big punish right here. Haani getting out of the corner, too. Very smart right there. Overhead. This is something I heard about Haani is that he loves that overhead.
Really?
It is that he's going to do it a lot. So let's see if that's true.
Well, that's his. It gives him crush counter, too, right?
It does, yeah. So actually, theoretically, his biggest damage can come from that overhead, which is pretty crazy to think about if you do it point blank. But far away, it's really hard to combo.
All right, nice V-trigger activation off that crouching medium kick. That's something we're going to see a ton from Nakali players.
Yeah, that is a huge mix-up in itself because you could either A, command grab, or B, go for another one. So crouching medium kick or whatever. Oh. Super, got the win right there.
Yeah, and really smart just to use a super in the first round. Burn it all, secure the victory, and they'll have plenty of time to build up more meter over the next potentially 2 rounds. So.
And with the speed he gains in V-trigger, it's extremely hard to play footsies versus him, and that's kind of where you saw Chris struggle right there at the end. All right, good punish on it. He could have gotten a little more, but that's knockdown's what counts. And again, now he's got him in the corner again. Let's see how Haani fights out of a corner. Neutral jumps. DP out of there. Got a reversal in this game. Doesn't matter how much they're trying to teach you not to do it with crush counter system in it. You still have to do it.
These are 2 of the 4 characters that actually have invincible reversals.
Right.
So
it's very important to show your opponent that you will do them as well.
Yep.
All right. Fishing with that crouching medium punch, trying to bait a counter attack and crush counter it with roundhouse. You can kind of see what Haani's thinking there.
There's that overhead again. Yeah, you weren't lying. Oh, and the command grab.
So he kind of just sets up all this mind game right there when you start nailing him with that overhead.
Yep.
Boom.
There you go.
2-0. And you could just see it's fierce damage. It's not a medium kick overhead or something. It's fierce damage you're eating, and there's crush counter potential. So it's a pretty good move to stick out there. It is slow, and it can get beat.
Yep.
All right, Chris goes right back into it. Decides not to change characters or anything.
Yeah, I didn't really expect him to. I haven't seen him play any of the other characters in quite some time. He stuck with Cammy, through the team tournaments and stuff we were watching yesterday.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, that makes sense. I probably wouldn't pick Laura with a character who has a natural DP anyways. So.
Yep.
There's that Sam roundhouse. Goes right into V skill after.
Yeah, and Haani has been getting pushed to the corner by Chris G, but he seems like he's really comfortable being there. He's had no problem kind of getting out of that situation. You've seen a lot of players will kind of clam up a little bit and just be afraid to do anything. But
yeah, he's fighting out of the corner. And you can see Chris using this dive kick in, so he's in, and Chris is kind of going in and out. There we go. Ooh, and gets jabbed out of his V skill right there. Chris has V trigger, sorry, so you can see him fish for it right there with crouching fierce. He's probably going to go for it again. Crouch medium kick, yeah, there's a crouch fierce activate. But now Haani is sitting on it as well, so he tried to
go uppercut. Yep.
Oh, really nice. Almost like an option select it worked like right there.
Yep. I mean, that's a strategy that a lot of players will use. Like Ryu, if you see someone jumping in and just to get that extra second to kind of think about what you're going to do, you activate V trigger.
I think he might have actually been able to win right there if he did EXDP, wake up jab, takes it anyways. Yeah, you're right about that. And I've actually started using that as even Chun-Li, is where if you see somebody leave the ground, you can activate right away and get that back roundhouse. Just make sure you time it perfectly. So that's another good way of using your V trigger as opposed to off crouching mediums or whatever you're looking for.
Yep. Chris, he's been playing pretty solid. He's just had a hard time landing any hits that can really convert into big damage. Haani's defense has been pretty on point. So.
Yeah, inside, Chris doesn't seem to be taking a lot of risks.
Yeah.
He's playing it pretty safe.
Nicoli's jab's really good.
And just look at the damage. I mean, it just adds up when you eat those overheads and kind of bread and butter combos. Stomp, goes for another overhead. Chris gets the hit, but too far to get the crouching medium kick into his V trigger.
Oh, that's it.
Boom. Yep. Haani 4 straight over Chris G.
Really, really, really solid play.
Yeah, definitely.
He was converting almost off of every hit, it felt like. I think it couldn't really say the same for Chris. I think Chris was like you said, he wasn't taking a lot of risk, right? And he wasn't. I don't think he was necessarily putting himself in really terrible situations or anything. It was just Haani was converting off of pretty much every hit.
Yeah,
that he threw out there.
Haani just looked better prepared in that fight and had some tricks and kind of beat him in the neutral too. And we're gonna, and for anybody who's just tuning in or maybe some new players and stuff, we're gonna be talking about like neutral and footsies and kind of stuff like that. And just to kind of explain what that is a little, most of the match and most of the important events in a match are going to be kind of taking place in what we consider the neutral, which is basically where the match starts, when it says like round 1 fight, and you're kind of a couple character distance away from your opponent, and you're kind of moving back and forth trying to bait or get into range of your attacks.
The neutral goes hand in hand with footsies, right? I mean, you're basically playing footsies in the neutral, and it's the point where you kind of fill out your opponent, kind of get a sense of like what kind of attacks they like to use and things like that. So
absolutely.
I think for new players, they learn like a combo or something, or they get like their special moves down, or so they get really aggressive and just want to do that one thing, right? But you got to be patient, especially at the beginning of matches.
You do,
and you got to sit there again, feel out your opponent, get a sense of what buttons they like to slap, and and then as the match progresses, you can be a little more aggressive. But there's nothing wrong with I think LPN. In his match, was a really good example of that. He kind of, he was really patient that first match, felt him out, kind of got a sense of his play style, and then win him pretty hard in the following round.
Exactly,
so.
And I think you brought up a good point on where a lot of people will learn a combo and be like, how do I progress as a Street Fighter player? Well, it's learning kind of like what your normals do, what your character does in neutral, and kind of learning how to put how to take it out of neutral, because neutral means nobody has an advantage. So what you want to do is land something in that position to where you have an advantage and you can do your setups, your combos, and whatnot. So and that's hard. That's what 90-70% of Street Fighter is that kind of like footsie neutral game, and it's very hard to develop and play. But the better you get at it, the more you will notice your success rate goes up in matches, because if you could win in those situations, then you don't have to worry about anything. If you're great at footsies, like if you watch Justin play, yesterday, if you watch Justin just like boil a match down to like a very standard Street Fighter match, he's not worried about getting a knockdown and doing a crazy mix-up, because he could beat you when you get back up. You know?
He's the king of footsies, king of neutral, right? And not to spend too much time on this, but just sort of a tip for new players. If you're playing online, don't be afraid to play an entire match or a set of matches just using your normal attacks, right? Don't even worry about combos or anything. Just see, what they do in different situations, and I think it's a good way to improve your game for sure. So just don't do it in ranked. Anyway, so we have JDR 512. He was up against LPN. He was playing Mika at first, but he looks like he's sticking with Bison versus Eggplant. Unfortunately, I'm not really too familiar with both these players. Not really sure what their history is in the scene or what. But we'll see.
I'm not sure either. I see Donka up there, so maybe Texas. But, but I'm not 100% sure. JDR, yeah, looks like he's sticking with Bison instead of Mika. I think that's a smart move, especially versus a Nash player, because Nash can give grapplers a very tough time. So
right,
he's going to go with Bison. Bison does a good job negating the sonic booms with V skills we saw earlier. And the Nash player, yep, he's still going back to it, which is going to be good. You're going to want to zone Bison. You don't want to be discouraged by them using that V skill.
Yep.
Nice back fist right there. Use that V reversal. Bisons love that V reversal. It's good because his anti-air game is so weak that it's very important that they gave him a strong V reversal in this game. Otherwise, he could have been in trouble. So.
Yep. Fairly even on life, I think.
No punish.
Generally speaking, JDR has had the advantage, though.
Yeah, he's got him in a corner now too, right? Yep, classic wake up V skill, or V trigger, I should say. Ooh, goes for EX. He did have super though, but he got it right at the last second, didn't notice. Goes for the overhead.
Ooh,
good
nice
block, no punish. Yep. So you're going to be seeing that a lot too. I hate to say that, but you will be seeing wake up V trigger by Nash a lot, even though it's not safe and you can medium out of it. It is effective, so be ready for it. He gets the scoop off dash. You can see the speed of Nash's dash. And that sonic boom is not entirely safe up there, up close.
Yeah, I think you can use it in some meaty situations and things like that, but otherwise it's pretty much a full screen special.
Yeah, you want to zone with it. You could use EXs up close. Those are ones that you can retain advantage, but not normal ones. You don't really want to do those point blank. Bison has him in a corner now. Being in a corner versus Bison is very bad. He may V-trigger or V-reversal out if he gets an opportunity. Yep, does it.
V-trigger, yeah. And Nash's V-reversal is fantastic. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen Eggplant use it more.
Yeah, and in his case, it would have accomplished the same goal because he didn't really get a combo there, which is just get out of dodge. You know?
Yeah, in the corner, use it, get out,
and get rid of that stun, which is another really important thing, especially when you're fighting a character like Bison and you get crumpled a couple times from that knee. Like, you need a breather. That V reversal is your opportunity. Ooh, bazooka knee, unsafe at certain ranges. Got to watch out. Very dangerous. In the betas, that move was ridiculous. So shout out to Bazooka. He was like +1 at all ranges or something crazy like that.
Yeah, no idea.
I just remember. Oh man, it was too much. There was some bad times to be had with that move in the beta. All right, shoots that fireball back. Pressure on Bison. Right, EX. Yep, good. Always jab Bison after that. If you have a 3-frame jab, go for it.
Nice damage off that.
Ooh, gonna hit the stun right here. Yep.
Boom. Wow.
Doesn't even get a chance. Oh man, what a way to go out. Look what he has too. V-trigger, full stock, a meter. That's a terrible way to die.
Yeah, that's feels bad, man.
Yeah,
you know? Well, you're like locked in
his face.
Yeah, locked and loaded, across the board, and you didn't even get a chance to use it. Yeah, it's tough.
And this is, I was saying this yesterday. This is why it's so important when you have your V trigger. You know, when you have that meter, your V meter. I don't know what do we call that, by the way? V meter, V
gauge.
V gauge.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have your V gauge filled, it's very important to find a way to use it because you can't bring that with you to the next round.
Yeah,
so just use it. Figure out a way to use it, even if it means like using a V reversal if you're a character with a 3-stock and you already have 3-stock. Just use it. You know, you have to.
So JDR's looking really comfortable now. He immediately got Eggplant in the corner. Well, he just put himself there, but really good start either way.
Oh man, this Bison's really finding his mark.
Yeah.
And Nash players, he just keeps running into stuff, and he's not getting. You could tell he has like the right idea for rushdown, but it's just not panning out. Maybe he's playing a little nervous, or just doesn't have the rushdown patterns down yet. Ooh, nice interrupt right there on the Sonic Sky. All right, good use of the moonsault right there. Throws him out of the corner. I don't know about that. Those defensive throws are good though. He gets nailed right there, but so you saw him throw him out of a corner, and that's usually a no-no. But the beauty about a defensive throw is you could kind of do it from blocking. So it's hard to quantify the use of that and be like, okay, that's what I should be going for more often than not because it's safer, but it is a good option. All right, here we go. Ooh, tries a moonsault, it looks like, right there, and gets punished for it. Goes for a throw and eats a knee. And Bison just going to work now. He's just going to Pound Town. There we go. Good use of it right there. Negated the stun, got back to neutral.
He should have been using that pretty much the previous rounds, but
I agree.
All right, nice. Ooh. Okay. Just getting something started. Could have been a lot more, but
could have been a lot more. It looked like he went for some kind of mix-up with that target combo. Just wake up super. Oh, he's kind of hype right there. All right, wake up super. Bison does have it. Got to respect it when he has it too, because Bison's with like a reversal or like finally I could do something on wake up. I will make you eat this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good stuff to JDR 512. He got he kind of got blown up by LPN, so it was good to see him on stream and kind of redeem himself a little bit there. So
yeah, I'm ashamed for the other guy, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess that was losers bracket. So so yeah, JDR moves on.
Yeah.
Next.
Is that? It looks like Julio is up there.
Yeah, so CapcomProTour.com, obviously, we update all the rankings week by week after, all the premiere and ranking events. And, of course, you can follow us on at Street Fighter, also at Capcom Fighters. We're also at Street Fighter on YouTube, Capcom Fighters TV on YouTube, and, follow us on Facebook at Street Fighter. So that's where you're going to get, all the latest updates on the Pro Tour. And then, obviously, there's a lot of, great stuff coming to Street Fighter 5. Both announced and unannounced, so obviously we want to be locked into our social channels to see what that is.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Don't hold out on me, all right? How long have I known you? And you haven't told me nothing.
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah, this guy. All right, so we are gonna have Julio, one of NorCal's best players.
Yeah.
He won a local here in Georgia. He also won one of the most recent NorCal locals. So he's accomplishing a lot of his goals slowly here.
What was the local here?
I don't know. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a decent size, and you know how a lot of players who kind of get in early like to go test the waters at the locals. You know, it always happens at majors. The week of.
Right.
Have a lot of interesting people there. So, yeah, he tried it, did good, and he ended up winning.
Well, the thing that I like about Julio is he's starting to travel more, right? Like, we're from NorCal, and we've always seen him, play really well in Street Fighter 4.
And 3.
Yeah, actually, I never really played him in 3. But in any event, a lot of NorCal players in general just haven't really traveled in previous years. But it looks like, everybody's taking the game a lot more serious, trying to go, cross country. He was at Winter Brawl and did really well. You got second place at Winter Brawl, right?
Did,
so, but I mean, that's how you get better as a player. You can really, you're going to plateau if you really just stick to your local scene. Which kind of sucks. It's fun playing with all the homies and stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to travel out, get outside of your comfort zone, and
got to expand. That's right. Expand as a human being and also as a player. So it's good to get out there, and see other scenes and be like, okay, this guy's. Like you could see it in video and be like, these guys are doing different things, and try to incorporate it in your game. It's a whole nother world when you actually feel it and play versus them.
Yeah, every region has their own style. So,
right, absolutely.
Let's see what we have here. So Julio and General Reaction. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so not familiar with General Reaction.
Neither am I. Julio, though, Ken, one of the best. He's really explored a lot of kind of early setups and play styles of Ken. Not who I would put him on. Knowing him as a third strike player and Street Fighter 4 plays is not the character I would have put him on, but he seems to really enjoy Ken. Plays him at a fast pace. Loves that quick dash. I guess that quick dash is kind of his new dive kick. Because he is a young player. So
well, Ken does have a dive kick more or less with that EX Hurricane.
Yeah, that is true.
So
he does.
Maybe he saw that and he's like, all right, works for me. So. Right. Anyway, early lead here from Julio.
And more importantly, you got him in the corner, which is Ken is just an animal in the corner. Okay, reversed right there. Jumps back into the
my gosh. Okay.
Some spaghetti right here. Yeah. But back to neutral. Here we go.
Nice cross-up.
Got him again. There's just been a lot of random hits. Yeah, Julio just kind of hitting buttons and stuff's working. I can see the other guy shaking off his hands like, okay, let's play Street Fighter. not just what just happened.
Yeah,
wow, great reaction.
So you can see that Julio definitely has a strategy here. You can tell he's definitely trying to push him in the corner deliberately, right?
Yes.
He's not pacing back and forth or anything. He's really just trying to put him there. So missed that combo early on. Still pretty even in live. So
got the crush kind of. Birdie goes for meaty grab right there. Julio, no reaction. Jump in, full combo, DP. Yep. Huge damage.
Gotta be careful of that V skill with Birdie. Oh, nice jump.
Bad wake up. That wake up was bad on several levels, but he went for it. I'll give him that. Ken's gonna love. So the thing when you play versus Ken, you gotta know is he's gonna love neutral jump because his neutral jump fierce punch is so good.
It really is.
It just blows up everything. The other thing is that command grab from Birdie is not invincible at all, and it's not gonna beat normal throws or anything like Zangief CX. So
really,
there's really no reason to do that. but who knows? Maybe there's some secret use to it. I don't know.
Again, like I said, it's real deliberate strategy here, just getting him into the corner immediately.
Yep, and good cross under right there using the V skill. That's another great thing about Ken. When you anti-air somebody with the normal, you can cancel that into a V skill, get a cross under. Wow, just dominant.
Complete domination right there.
Because if I remember right, he could cancel normals that aren't normally special cancelable into his V skill.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so if he anti-airs with one of those normals, he can use his V skill as kind of like a command dash under, which is pretty neat.
Wow, well, that was strange looking. Yeah, we'll see if General Reaction can make something happen here. This is pretty much his last chance. Again, he went for that
EX command grab.
Yeah, and got blown up for it. So
just throw mix-ups right here.
Yeah, the stun is mounting. You got to keep your eye on that stun at all times. Stun bar at all times.
Sweeps him. He has him in a corner, and Birdie's pretty dangerous in a corner, but he just doesn't like the pressure he's feeling from Julio, so he gets out of there. But getting back to the other corner now. So.
I think he tried to hit a button there. I'm not sure he just stopped blocking, but either way, just got mauled there.
It's tough. It's tough to find out where you need to hit a button versus Ken to make things work if it's your first time really playing versus one. Yeah. That's what I've noticed. I play him as a Chun-Li and I play Julio, and you think, okay, Chun, you just hit buttons and it's easy, throw Kikokens, you got it.
Yeah.
But it's still weird when he's putting an offense on you and his dash is so quick. You're kind of looking for the timing, and if you don't know the match, it can be very hectic.
Yeah, and Julio's a great player. He was using his V skill from all the optimal ranges. He wasn't really overextending himself. I think he missed a combo or two, but to General Reaction's credit, Julio didn't even really give him too many any openings really to do too much. But
Chris G back up.
Yeah, against SSJ Trunks, looks like. So
see if Chris G can get some redemption, fight his way out of losers after getting brutally beaten by Haani.
Right.
So
that's right. Yeah. So
should be interesting. And again, he does have an assortment of characters, so he may not be sticking 100% with Cammy through this tournament. He did have to do it because I think team tournaments are character locked, so that could have been a reason why.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, I talked to him too, and I asked Chris, is he going to stick with Cammy the whole way through? And he wants to play her as much as he can. He said there is some matchups and some characters he wouldn't mind playing Laura though. And
really?
Of course, particularly being any that doesn't have a invincible reversal. So.
Right.
And I think that's been kind of like the MO of a lot of people playing grapplers in this game is they just really don't like that feeling of a character having a reversal, But you got to deal with that, That's Street Fighter 101. They don't even get damage anymore off reversals. It's really just a reversal and that's it. So it's not Street Fighter 4 where
FADCs are a thing of the past now. So
man, I remember Vanilla Sagat. How can I forget, right, Hans?
Yeah, I do too. How about that?
I remember playing in tournaments versus Vanilla Sagats, and you would just be dominating them because you're a better Street Fighter player. I would be dominating them. And then a random DP would happen, and what do you know? FADC into that 100% Ultra, and it's like 90% of your health. It really blew my mind.
Yep.
Welcome to Street Fighter 4, but that's in the past, thank God. And we are on Street Fighter 5.
Moving forward.
Yeah. But you know what? I love this game, and almost everybody I talk to is ecstatic about this game.
Yeah, and at Capcom, we obviously couldn't be any more happy about that. Obviously, I mean, this just that everybody is just so excited about the game and jumping in and learning, all the different characters frankly, you just never know how community is going to react to a game and pick it up. Sometimes it's, actually, to be honest, I felt like Street Fighter 4 was a little bit of a slow burn, in terms of the competitive community. I know, players like, Ricky, took a little longer to warm up to it, but this game is almost complete opposite. Everybody's just jumped in.
Everybody's just like, this game is God. Like, let's go. Let's party. CPT, I'm there.
Yeah. So
he did go ahead and play Laura.
Yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, so I guess he feels pretty comfortable with this matchup.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this matchup. I mean, I'm sure you've played it a little bit, Hans. Maybe you could shed some light on it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just looking for that opening. Nash is typically going to try to zone with the Sonic Booms, and you just as a lower player, you got to get in there and make something happen.
Right. She can use that Thunderbolt, right? Her projectile, in this fight a little bit, so it is useful. He is in V-Trigger right now, and Laura's V-Trigger, She's faster. She does more damage, and what a lot of people don't know is she actually does a lot more stun too.
Yeah.
So even things like her, anything that has that effect on it when she's in V trigger is going to get like a chunk more stun. So it's really good to complement her offense when it's working.
Yeah, pretty close match overall though.
Down to the wire right here.
Yeah, Laura is a freight train. Once she gets something rolling, it sometimes can be hard to get out of that. But Trunks he lost that one, but he did a pretty good job of holding his ground and not letting her get too many command grabs or start off with any of the shenanigans. So we'll
if you don't give her an opportunity to get in and work that game, she's really not threatening at all. But once she is in there, here we go.
Yeah, we'll see what Chris G has. Yep. So that's a meaty setup after that command grab. You do the forward fierce, and when it hits meaty, you can get standing light kick and go into a combo. Chris G dominating right now. That combo does so much damage, by the way.
It's ridiculous. You get like 3 fierces, and then you just get to keep going, and then they're done.
Yeah, and so if you are a lower player and you haven't seen the sort of the tech video from V Ryu, I highly suggest checking that out. There's so many different setups she has off of command grabs, normal throws, off her bolt follow-ups and things like that, and I think it's pretty critical for lorers to know that. So.
I'm always a little confused about how. I mean, is there really no like solid use for that projectile in neutral? Because I always see her get hit out of it.
Well, she can't get hit out of it and it disappears, but it's really good for moving forward, I think. And when you start getting kind of closer to the corner but you still have a little bit of distance, you can throw it out, use it to kind of protect you, and
that's true.
And try to gain a little bit more ground, right? So
just kind of use it as like a free wall to like move forward with.
Yeah, and the EX version is really good. A lot of times you can kind of hide behind that and use her V skill, not just the dash, but the cartwheel kick or whatever. But nice cross under.
Ooh.
Wow, goes for the mix up and
big stun.
Trunks
Here we go.
Is almost stunned. Yeah.
Yep, goes for the activate. The V trigger on wake up. Chris on the trade nails him.
I'm not even sure he was trying to go for that overhead. A lot of times with lower players, you're trying to cancel into the dash out of normals, and instead you hold the V skill for too long and you get that cartwheel kick. That's not the technical term for it. But,
the step kick, or no, that's not. Well, what do they call that move? I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna give Chris the benefit of the doubt and say he meant to do that because it was for the win. But
but on
he
block,
does it again right there too.
It's so unsafe.
Oh yeah, that's a huge punish on block.
All right, good stuff.
Ooh, nice.
Mix up again, gets a grab. We'll see what follow-up he has here. He's seen sometimes that's really smart too. Instead of going for the meaty setups, just kind of hang back. Her stand roundhouse is really good. You can blow up, any sort of wake-up attacks. Oh, he goes in for the EX command grab.
Oh no, he didn't confirm that at all.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's tough. He had plenty of time to confirm.
You had a lot of time to see that, but I guess he was just hitting buttons. He was like, I'm in there. Man, so, that's rough.
So I'd say it looks like Chris G, he knows all the different setups with Laura, and it's a very different style compared to Wolfcrone, for instance. I'm not saying that Wolfcrone doesn't know those setups, but I felt like Chris G was really playing like by the book with Laura, and going for a lot of the meaty setups and cross unders. While I was watching Wolfcrone, and it seems like I think players who are familiar with the lower matchup, they're going to expect that sort of stuff and expect the meaty setups and all the different follow-ups off of throws. But when I was watching Wolfcrone play, he was played a lot more unorthodox, a little more erratic. I felt like players had a harder time keeping him locked down. And I think if you are playing sort of these hybrid grapplers, a lot of times it's actually better to play like that.
Yeah, I actually agree. Yeah. And sometimes when I play these grapplers, my biggest success comes from when I just start going crazy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff, again, like dashes and jumping, like when you tie it all into like a package, it all works because people are so focused on dealing with one aspect of your game.
Right. And with any character, you can always get a little too predictable. But I think it's especially with Laura, we get kind of do the same setups over and over again. Especially if they have an invincible reversal, they're just going to start uppercutting and things like that. So I think with her, it pays off to be a little wily.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of that overhead kick. The V skill overhead kick was hitting a lot. I think honestly, it's good to have a mix of both. Play solid, but also kind of go high octane every once in a while. I think actually Combo Fiend is the master of that.
Tell me about it.
If you watch his matches, a lot of times it looks like he's playing pretty crazy, but then he'll kind of tone it down a little bit and play super solid. So.
Right. I mean, he plays solid when he has to. So right now we have Li Joe versus Ultimate Gohan.
All these Dragon Ball Z characters,
man. These guys love Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But up next, just to let you guys know, we are going to have K-Brad. He's going to be up here, so that should be pretty cool. And of course, Li Joe, he did win Winter Brawl. He's the guy to beat. Right now.
He has incredible Nash. I was watching the 5v5 regional tournament last night on Arturo stream, and he was playing really well. Apparently had a migraine. For people wondering why he was, had his hands to his face, but he was still doing damage. They made it to grand finals and only lost to Team Japan, lost to Tokido. But everybody else, he's playing super solid. Brought his team back from the dead.
He looks like he's meditating right now.
Well, you can tell he's
like, please don't let me get hit by that standing fierce.
Well, he's one of the players. Not saying everybody's taking this game really seriously, but I think Joe especially. He's found a character that really works for him, and he's been doing damage. You can tell he wants to stay on top after that Winter Brawl victory. So
yeah, he doesn't want to be that that 1 month Joe, right?
Yeah.
So.
I think so. This is a bad matchup for Zangief, do you feel?
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Okay.
I got in a debate with Champ and Ricky about this, but they feel it's extremely bad. I mean, I still feel it's bad, but I think Zangief has that, like, he has a chance,
Yeah.
I don't want to throw matchup numbers up there because that's just ridiculous at this point in the game. But like I feel it's hard, but Zangief can win it.
Yeah, well, Joe's doing a fantastic job of zoning him out with the Sonic Booms, and anytime Gohan tries to jump in, he has his anti-airs locked and loaded. So
yeah, as a Zangief player, you're gonna have to know this matchup intimately for it to be winnable, though. Yeah, that's for sure.
And the tough thing too is, Gohan was obviously trying to push him to the corner. Zangief, every character kind of shines when they have the opponent in the corner. But as we were saying earlier, Nash has a V reversal that gets him out instantly. That's really, really tough for Zangief.
That's one of the deal breakers of this matchup. Yep. It's going to be really important for Zangief to headbutt those Sonic Booms. You don't want to be blocking too many of them, because if you block too many of them, you actually get pushed out further than the ground you could recover by walking. So it's just it's a net loss. You have to use your other tools. You have to parry, you have to headbutt, and
Joe got the stun and pretty clean victory across the board.
Yeah, just thwarted every opportunity that Zangief was trying to make there. You got to tie everything together. He has a parry, you have to use that. He has a good dash, you have to use that. Some of his jump-ins are decent, got to tie that in there. And you got to slowly advance with Zangief. And then once you have him cornered, you have literally one chance. You have one chance to make it work, and then he's out. So it kind of comes down to that interaction, Yeah.
And Joe wasn't really doing anything like super crazy. He was just, like I said, he was throwing a lot of Sonic Booms. He was just had great positioning. His anti-airs were on points, and again, just made it really difficult for him to get in. Switching up to Mika, I think it's
better.
A little better. Probably not the best. Still not the best matchup, but she has more tools, I think, to get in a little quicker.
Yes, she does.
I mean, I'll let you take this one. You're a Mika main, so.
I mean, I'm no specialist on this matchup per se, but she can slide under the booms, which is nice.
That's true.
When she has meters, she can EX them. So it's a little easier. And then, of course, when she gets in, she's more dynamic than Zangief, and you don't feel like you're living and dying off that one little interaction in the corner, Right there, crush counter with Mika, and Joe not doing a good job anti-airing our Mika right now. So we'll see what happens. But he has her cornered. Yeah, there's that meaty boom he loves.
Wow, so
big combo.
So this all started off that whiffed command grab, and he capitalized by neutral jumping, and he basically converted that into two different combos, more or less. So
early command grabs are always a little weird if you're a grappler player.
Yeah.
You always feel a little sketch doing them, because I think it's more important to get information out of a player first before you start going for those command grabs.
Yep.
Because they are a big investment.
Yeah, so Joe, he was playing a little more defensively in the first match, but now he's going in super hard.
Yeah. Oh, he guessed right there on the wingless airplane, but he just did it a little too quickly and didn't let Joe jump out first. There you go. Good views. Very, very good use of the V skill right there. Actually, Joe was actually caught off guard by it the first time. Second time he punished.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's it.
Good job by Joe. But you did see, so a lot of players out there who play Mika are going to be like, she has the worst V skill. in the game. It's completely useless, and I'm inclined to agree somewhat. But it has its uses.
Yeah.
It really does. And when you're full screen, even versus Nash, even versus Sim, there's times where you could just get 1 or 2 squeezed in a match.
Yep.
And that may not seem like a lot, but if you look at how much V gauge you actually gain off that, that's the difference between having 1 Nadeshiko assist and
That's
2.
true. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
And that's the difference between having a whole nother turn of whiling out. You know?
Yeah, it's true. And it's a really obvious thing, but using your V skill builds up the V gauge. And for Mika, with a V skill that I say is pretty situational for the most part, right? I didn't even think that's a great use of it. So
yeah. So actually, right now we're going to go to a quick commercial break. So we'll be right back.